Hi guys, welcome back. This is Jenny from Polly's Paper Studio, and today I have a tutorial for a fancy fold fall card, and I'm using the Children's Hour collection from Graphic 45 and some beautiful flowers from Little Birdie Crafts and trims from Really Reasonable Ribbon. So the great thing about this card is that it opens and it sets up to create a beautiful fall display. So let's make this together. The base of this card is so simple. You guys are just gonna love it. So I have a piece of white cardstock that is 6 by 12 inches and another piece that is 5 by 10. So the first score line that we want to add is to the larger piece, and I'm going to put it at 3 inches and the next one at 6. So basically it will fold in half now. And you just want to reinforce that edge and then bring that first score forward. So you've got sort of half of the width of the card is going in one direction and it will open to reveal the inside. So you want to do basically the same with your smaller piece. This one was a 5 by 10, so I want to mark it at 2.5 and then also at 5. And this is going to do the opposite, so it will be the same fold, but we're going to add it going in the other direction so that it will be anchored to both the front and the back, and that will create the dimension that we want. So now what we've got is this going this way and this one going this way, and I'm just going to add those together to create this. Okay, so let's decorate these now that we've got the base done. You will need to follow a specific order when you decorate this card because some of the pieces will be attached at different times so that the mechanism will work. So what I want to do is really start with the back, and that way it won't be difficult to add it when we have all the other dimensional items on. So this is a piece of that Graphic 45 6 by 6 pattern paper, and I'm just going to add that. What happens now is there is a bit of a flap here, and I created a tag that will slide under. So if you want to add a sentiment to your card and have it so that it won't show when the card is open, because it really will set and show the inside and the outside. This way your recipient will be able to get a nice sentiment on the back and then put it underneath here and tuck it into place and keep it nice and secure. So this is part of the Children's Hour fall pages, and it had these small cut aparts that had autumn, so I thought that would make a nice pull. So now the back is ready to be a finished card, but we want to start working on the front now. I have another piece, this is same 6 by 6 paper pad from Graphic 45. This is a paisley pattern, and I think that is a beautiful warm color. I've got it matted in the chocolate brown, and this is going right inside. So that 6-inch card is going to be layered with increments of 1/8 of an inch cut off. So 1/8 of an inch for the white into the brown, and then another 1/8 of an inch into the pattern paper. So that will create the bottom of this. Want to add the same pattern. It makes sense to me so that it looks like the front of the card is all one cohesive unit. So I'm going to add that to both of these smaller sections, and you'll see now why we've done that, because when you add the second folding piece, it has to be secured over the top of that pattern paper. I just love fall, you guys, and if it weren't followed by winter, I would love it a whole lot more, but I guess since I like Christmas, that will be something to look forward to even when it gets cold. So here is one more piece. Now these are from the 6x6 paper pads, so you might be able to get away with the reverse side of the pattern paper. Now look how that works. That is so nice. And I will say too that adding the extra layers really bulks this card up, so it's very substantial. So what I want to do now is secure this smaller folding section, and I'm just going to apply some wet adhesive because I think that will be more sturdy, and I'm gonna just center it. So this is a 5-inch square, and that will give me 1/2 inch all the way around to act as a border. So I'm just going to do that, and then I'll be right back and we can finish decorating this card. Okay, so I've got that second folding piece added, and you can see that that's where we've built in the dimension for this card. So I want to begin on the inside again because I think that it is easier to adhere to the inside and it not be quite so bulky. So I'm just going to work on those sections. So this is the pattern paper again, and then I've got some piece of the border strip from that monthly sheet, and that is going on the bottom. And then to finish that off, I've got some cute little flowers and a butterfly, and that will just bring that color all the way down to the bottom of this portion. And then the sweet little boy is going right at the top. I've already prepared the other side, and that's just one more of the tags. So I want this one on this side. It's difficult to see maybe because that card wants to close in on itself. But I'm just using that same 1/8 of an inch measurement for my borders. And then I'm going to add this guy here and try not to be so off camera. And I think that will look nice right there. Okay, so that's the portion you'll see when it's open. That's really cute, that little boy is. Okay, so now you can see we're adding lots of bulk, and this is going to be a nice sturdy card. For the front, I've got the next layer. So this is going to be a different pattern, but it's still matted in that chocolate brown cardstock. And then I've got that whole section popped up on dimensional foam, and I've added a coppery colored clip to that. So this is going to go on centered on the white section that is the base of our card. Now it's really getting thick. So I've also cut out some of these very sweet leaf border strips from that cut apart sheet, and I'm going to add it to the top and the bottom. And it made sense to me to keep that smaller orange stripe going toward the inside of the card, just so that it wasn't a detail that would get lost. Now I've got the base, and I'm going to add the small calendar piece, which is just about the most perfect shade of orange for Halloween and fall I can think of. Very vintagey. And the tag that is part of the cut apart sheet, I've added more of the foam. I've added an eyelet in a coppery color, and then I've put some raffia through because I thought that was just a nice natural element to include, and that's going almost to the clip there. I'm going to top that with the sweet little stamp. So these are going to be my focal images. I put some double-sided adhesive on the bottom, and this is the foam so that I can build up some dimension with that. And I think that I want to have this about right here. I'm okay that it is covering part of that postcard word because I think everyone knows what that really is underneath there. So one more, and I've added just even another section here of that foam tape so that I could support this on all that edge and it won't become fragile. So now I've got the base layers in. What I want to do is bring in my flowers. So these are my Little Birdie Crafts flowers, and it is, I brought the package down so I'd remember this time, Jessica Buttermilk, and that has that beautiful bronzy colored jeweled kind of center. And then this one is Serena Melon Frost, and I think that is a very nice complement to that vintagey orange. I've added a couple of the rosebuds that are on the stems and then the spirals as well, tucked in a couple of twine bows, and I'm just going to add this here. I think that looks really nice there. I'm going to add that with some hot glue, so I'll just do that and I'll be right back. And last but not least, I'm going to tuck in this little bow. This is from Really Reasonable Ribbon. It's just a beautiful plaid with coppers and browns, and I'm going to tuck that right underneath there so that it helps to fill out that corner of the flower display. And that is it for my Fancy Fold Fall, that's fun to say, Fancy Fold Fall card using the Children's Hour from Graphic 45. And I think this would be a really sweet addition to holiday decor sitting on a mantle. And then you can include your sweet sentiment on the back for whoever is getting this card to have, so that they can keep the memories with the card. So if you enjoyed this project, give me a like, leave me a comment, and if you're not already, I would love for you to subscribe. As always, I'm wishing you a happy and productive day, and I thank you so much for watching. Bye!